Hello everybody. Welcome to another tabletop review. And today we are actually doing a review on, once again, Castles and Crusades, the player's handbook. But instead of the 7th printing today, we are doing the 8th printing. And as I stated before in an introductory video, that there was minor changes made from the 7th to the 8th printing, and we're actually going to go over some of that as we go through the book. And now I do recommend this series of game books, everybody, because these are really, I mean, the books are just really good, and they're very fairly priced. I just have to hand it to the Troll Lord Games. I will have their link posted in my description, as well as my promotions and my Twitter page, so everyone can keep up on my, daily information about what I do and what streams I do. Now, if you do come across this video and you like what you see, please check out my other videos. Leave a like and please subscribe, as I'm trying to move up to 55 subs at this point. Well, without further ado, we're not here for all that. We are here for Castles and Crusades Player's Handbook 8th printing. Now, this is a book I'm able to share because I did purchase the PDF as well, so I'm able to go through some of the stuff here, and a couple things I am going to touch base on will be, I did find all the changes. This book was easy to get through because I already read the 7th printing, was my first book, and I read that from cover to cover, as well as I did get a chance to look at the second printing of the Castles Keeper's Guide, so I was able to tell you what changes were made. One of the changes that were made was in the 7th printing player's handbook. They did not have anything beyond 12th level, whereas in this book they did incorporate 13th to, I believe, 24th level, and I can show you that here. We're going to just pull the screen right up here. We're not going to go through everything. I'm going to show you guys some art. This is the main art here, and it turns out this is the alternative cover. I did not know I got both in the PDF. I kind of like that. And the physical copy books, I only got the main cover, the first cover you see. So we do have some really nice art here. I know I'm scrolling kind of fast. I think I just passed some really cool art. Like, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's awesome. I love that artwork right there. Just very, very awesome art. Good, congrats, Troll Lord Games. You guys have done very excellent on this. If you scroll down, we're going to scroll down to one of the classes here. We're just going to go with Barbarian, which doesn't pull up exactly to Barbarian right now, but yeah. So, they still have, all this is the same from the 7th printing. They did change the order. They did add a table. This was not always in there. They did like a half table, like it was like these four, like level HD, B, T, H, and E, and the experience points progress. They didn't have the checks. They had the checks, but all this was written into text, but now they got it in a table, and they wrote it in text, and they told you what an architect, they did add some stuff. But it doesn't really change, really cool Barbarian. They did have a female Barbarian, really cool. Doesn't really change anything with the game at all because all this existed. They just rearranged the information. And they did add, as I said before, level 13 to 24. Now, this was actually in the Castle Keeper's Guide, second printing, but when they made the third printing and the third printing Castle Keepers and the 8th printing players, they just migrated this information. They said this ain't going in the Castle Keeper's Guide third printing. This is going to go straight over to the player's handbook. So there's a change. This information already previously existed. Now it's just been moved. Nothing was taken out or added. Alright, and then I think that was the one major change we had there. We're going to go back up. So that was one major change. I think I said I spotted 4. They did change. I'm not going to show it because, I mean, it is in there. They did change. They had different types of damage. They did do a couple different types of damage in the 7th printing of the player's handbook, but it was mostly like falling damage and taking damage from gear. Like basically if you're attacked with a sword. Excuse me, I yawned a little bit. It's been an early morning and I have not had my first cup of coffee. I mean, I did have one cup of coffee. Anyway, so moving on. But they did add in some additional information regarding damage, like acid damage, winter cold damage, and how it affects your character. Another thing they did add as well is they didn't really add too much, but they did expand on magic a little bit. There was 50 pages. There's a 50-page different from the player's handbook, 7th printing, to the 8th printing player's handbook. The 8th printing player's handbook has more. So they did add some things about magic a little bit. They did add. Well, I don't want to say they added, but they did expand and reformatted. Once again, information has just been moved and put into a nicer, neat thing. Format, easier to read. And then we're gonna go down. Let's see. And so they did expand a little bit on the clerics, which was not an expansion. They just had the information a bit more better formatted and cleared out. They did that same thing for magic, and they did the same thing for what was the one thing I said? Oh, they did the same thing for different types of damage, which actually is about 3 pages worth. And then they had an appendix back here. They took that out, merged that information with another chapter, which was near the end for, I believe, around the examples of play. And then they added a better index and then the OGL license. So, I mean, really, information has just been seriously moved. Nothing's been seriously altered. There's really not much else to go on, like in the 7th printing, because I did the 7th printing book review first. The 8th printing just had 4 changes where information was expanded on, moved, or just moved and reformatted. That's it. Those are, I mean, comparative to other TTRPGs that go from edition to edition, those are severely minor changes. You could have probably written those rules on 10 sheets of paper. And for all you know, those 10 sheets of paper could have been the errata rules that they were like, okay, we're going to move this route. So that is the one thing I like about the Castles Crusades Troll Lord Games game better, is you're still working with first edition, but very minor changes from printing to printing. It's just like they made it better. That's it. So I do highly recommend it. That is pretty much my review today on the 8th printing. It's pretty much like the 7th printing, just 4 minor changes to it. So that is the proof right there that I do like about Troll Lord Games, is that it's nothing that will make or break the system. It's just things that will be things that were altered, or things put into a more predictable place. Alright, so I don't really have much else today, because this was a review over the 8th Player's Handbook. I will actually add in the link to the store to get that 8th Player's Handbook, as well as the bundle that I got that in. I did get that in the starter bundle, where the Player's Handbook was there, the Castle Keeper's Guide, and the new Monsters and Treasures Guide, which we will all do reviews on at a later time. Alright, so yep, I've been talking for practically 10 minutes. Really, there's nothing additional to go over. Like I said, that information was in the... most of that information was in the... if not all of it, was in the 2nd printing of the Castle Keeper's Guide. So if you have the 2nd printing versus the 3rd, you can tell that, oh man, all that information was already part of Castle Crusades. So like I said, information was mostly just moved. Maybe very few additions, not many. So with that said, moving on to the next thing, that is everything I have for today. I will be getting ready to review the Castle Keeper's Guide next, and then we will do the Monsters and Treasures Guide of Castles and Crusades. Like I said, I do highly recommend this as a TTRPG. I cannot say that enough. This has been just a very awesome experience to play Castles and Crusades, and I do love the game. And I will be hosting an actual play in the near future. I do urge you to check out my introductory video to know the difference between editions and printings, and then please check out my unboxing video. I do have a Castles Crusade unboxing video to tell you how Troll Lord Games actually ships their stuff, and just how satisfied I was with the shipping. Alright guys, that's everything I have for today. This is Tabletop Junkie, who's been yawning multiple times in this video. Like I said, I'm not taking an extra, it's early in the morning. early in the morning where I'm at, and I just wanted to get this out there. So let me get a second cup of coffee in me, and we'll be all good. But everybody who did see this video and who's reviewed this video, thank you so much for coming to support. Like I said, you like my video, please like and subscribe, and then check out my other videos. This is Tabletop Junkie telling everyone to work hard, play hard, game on, everybody. Have a great and wonderful day.